Ahoy there, mateys, and welcome aboard another episode of Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast. I'm your captain, Jimbob Ovalshorts, and I'd like to start things off by apologizing for missing last week. We were all kind of indisposed, had a bunch of stuff going on. You guys know how it is, but we're back and we're ready to set sail the seven seas of clown world once again. And as usual, always in search of the grand question of the world of just why, just why? Because every single day, sitting here watching Clown World, things just get funnier and funnier. Of course, this evening it's looking like we have got Luis back into the game. Luis, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great.
Oh, fantastic, buddy! It's nice to see you. We've missed you the past couple of weeks. I know you've been busy yourself, but it's I understand. We all got things going on, man.
Oh, yes, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. But it could be funnier. It could be crazier, and it hasn't yet. We could have had the blackouts that cut off everything, as Obama put in a film in order to give some programming to the masses. You know what's gonna be the funniest? Like, America says no to Israel, then Israel releases the entirety of the Epstein files, and then the day after that, they cut off the power. It's all going to be like this magical
Yeah,
whirlwind event.
that's a good one. I like that. I like that prediction there.
Because if people don't think that they don't have the files because he literally was working directly for Mossad,
Right. Out their mind.
I'm also speaking vague enough for the system to barely understand what I'm saying. So that's as far as I'm going to go, and for the system to not, go
No
too far.
worries, no worries. And it looks like also this evening with us we've got Neptune. Neptune, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Good man. Luis, what, you don't want a Gary Webb situation going on in your life?
No, I don't want to get nuked out of the broadcast, especially if it's on
Bruh.
YouTube. I don't want it to get nuked into. We already got nuked by Facebook. I don't
Yeah.
need. I don't need
No,
everybody to start
actually,
blocking us left
actually,
and
like,
right and left.
actually, because I was gonna put us on a new channel this evening on D Live, but for some reason their streaming service was having issues today, so I wasn't able to put us
Yeah.
on there. So I threw us on the
Yeah.
new
Sorry, I was.
UA the podcast at Facebook.com. I have finally figured out how to make profile number 24 and bring us back. So
Nice.
you can't stop the freight train, buddy. There's no way this leprechaun's ever going to be put to rest.
Yeah. Sorry, I was having some technical issues. The same problem that happened before with Restream was happening to me tonight. I have to try to figure that out with you
Yeah,
guys before our next podcast, but
no worries. I'm digging.
minor glitch in the matrix. So
Yeah, it's no worries. I'm glad you guys could be here this evening. I'm sad Bandit's going to miss with us this evening. And I've actually talked to a couple of our other stray folks this evening. We all know that Ox totally is in Japan right now. So hi, Ox. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Uh, Jesse's doing very well. Kel's actually doing pretty well. He might even pop in at some point this evening. You never know with him. And Caitlin is alive, believe it or not. Everything is pretty good with her, she said. She said she just had a really rough patch. She does miss all of us, and she does hope to be back as soon as she can. But the one parent life has been pretty hard recently, she said. So, but no worries. Like, we love everybody in the team, and that's why there's so many of us, so that we can interchange left and right as much as we possibly can. Sorry, Luis, I shifted over on me.
Now you sound a lot better.
It's on a swivel, so sometimes it just moves when I'm
Yeah,
sitting
but
here,
you
and it
were
slowly
sounding.
drifts
You
away
sounded like you
and
were inside of
further,
the pirate ships, the bottom of
further,
the pirate ship.
further, and then I have to swing it back over here. I
Don't
can't.
you don't have the eye patch, so you have no justification to go down there.
Okay,
next,
fair. I'm not getting the
next,
eye patch though. Remember, the whole thing that's supposed to happen in the premonition is I lose a hand. So
Ugh.
yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
in this apocalypse vision, you lose your which one?
right hand.
That's your left hand.
No, I'm mirrored. This is my left hand.
No, even if you're mirrored, that was still your left hand.
No, I write with this hand. I'm left-handed. This is my right hand.
You're not completely when you're mirrored, you're not mirrored. Like you're not inverted.
I
Then the
know I'm.
text would literally be illegible.
I'm not. I'm. This is my right side. I promise. Like I have it set to where I'm facing myself. Like this is right. This is left.
For example, this is my right. This is my left.
Yes, and we're the same looking at.
Here. And I'm set so it's looking how I would look at it.
Yeah.
Luis, in that example, you're the same way.
Yeah.
So that is Jimmy's correct. Because if I were to look at that from my perspective, that would have this your left hand would have been your right hand.
Well, this text is backwards. Well, his
Correct.
text. Ah, god dang it! I thought I was reading it right. All right, see, my brain is too old and
So
stupid at
hey,
this time.
did you guys actually hear the good news? I don't know if you guys heard the good news or not. You know that one dude, what's his name? Gefilte fish Phil or whatever, he checks out his shadow every year and lets us know about summer and stuff like that. He totally Listen, he totally came out earlier. I was going to share this with you guys because I didn't know if you guys, knew about this. So just hang on a second. Tell me what you guys think.
After a long winter's slumber, the New York Jew awakens on his stained mattress and emerges from his hollowed cavern to the light of day. This is a special day for him. As you see, when the tunnel Jew witnesses his own shadow, we can be assured of 6 more weeks of inflation.
You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. At least 6 more weeks of inflation, because Gefilte fish Phil seen his shadow. So we have to,
You mean 6 more years of inflation? 6 more years. By the way, yeah, remember that clip. It is hilarious. Look, by the way, those are not representative of the collective. Like, the majority of the Jewish community hates those guys.
As they should.
They are scum.
Yep.
They just behave like crap. The synagogue, they started destroying the synagogue. Like,
Yeah.
they started literally destroying it. They might be wearing the same clothes, but they're not the same group.
Yeah, if Ox were here to speak in his defense, he absolutely would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't condone anything. They just represent part of a group, but they're not a representative of the group.
Well, I was actually, it's funny that we talk about that. Is I was reading a thing about a scientist, a geneticist guy, that wanted to figure out where the
genes.
where
That's
the
a
light
fun
skinned,
one.
isn't it? Where the light skinned Jewish people kind of arrived from. And
oh my god, that video is so good. Did you get the video?
I do have the video, but I have so much trouble with playing certain videos unless I completely just download them, like I did with that last one, and put it on. But at the end of the day, like they're Mongolian.
There is 40%.
Like 40% Mongolian.
Mongolian. So, and they were explaining, look at the cooking.
Yeah.
It's basically Mongolian.
It's the same.
It's like, look at this plate. It's really good. It actually, it's very interesting. So essentially, that's why they was joking. It's like yellow fever. It's just you want your race back. You want your race and your genome back.
So that makes me wonder, actually, though, because in Asian culture, like in all seriousness, there is a birthmark that has something to do with Mongolian ancestry, where a lot of Asian people are born with a blue ass.
It's a mark. It's a blue mark.
Yeah.
You can look up the picture. It's a blue mark. A simple
but it varies from child. It varies from child to child or whatever. But they got a blue mark on their ass, and it only happens, as far as they know, like in people that have that Mongolian ancestry. So I'm curious, do any of these current people there, if that's present in them too?
Valid. So my mom did a 23andMe, and basically it told her you're healthy and you have almost no like genetic at risk. She basically is like, wait, what? I'm not going to die of anything? Like, evidently, according to this, you have a risk of dying of nothing.
Nice.
No, and whenever it showed there was a risk, it was like a 2% or like a 3% or like 1 out of 40. And I'm like, this means you have like ultra low risk for everything. And if you have a healthy eating cycle and exercise, you probably can live to 120 easily.
Don't wish that upon anybody. I'm so sorry.
Oh, some people are in their 90s are healthy and fine.
Sure, sure. And then some people are in their 80s and Joe Biden.
That's from a life of drug abuse. That's from a life of drug abuse. And Trump is also running on a fucking thin line. That man pumps his body with so much amphetamines. It's a miracle that man is his heart doesn't give out. It could be he genuinely doesn't smoke, so that's part
but
true.
all
That
that
would kill
said,
him.
I'm assuming skin cancer won't get him first. Jesus Christ, with the tanning bed.
It's chemical.
Yeah.
It's a chem. That's not actual tanning. That's a spray tan. I'm
Good
serious. You
Lord.
I
can
don't know.
see there's pictures. It's clear.
I
It's a
don't know
spray
how
tan.
I don't know how that's any better, but fair enough.
It's organic substances. You think a billionaire is not spraying himself with the good stuff? Come on. There's organic versions of that stuff. It's as simple
Fair.
as it's a simple paint. Like Native Americans have been painting their skin forever. Many
Yeah,
tribes in many
Yeah.
parts of the planet have been dyeing their skin forever. Dyeing your skin is nothing out of the blue. Yes,
that's
it
true.
is a weird orange glow to him, but I think he genuinely likes it as a signature of him.
He likes being orange.
Yeah, I think he genuinely does. And I've seen him I've seen him in like truly like the color correction done right and everything.
Yeah,
He genuinely is one very old. You can in real life you can better tell he's very old, and that's part of what's hiding it. It's hiding he's old, and yeah, it just makes him look younger because when you look that pale, you look older.
fair.
So
Yeah.
that's a separate factor. If you have no color tone to your skin, if you're just plain white, you look older. Hence,
Yeah, that tracks.
So
zombie Biden.
So I want since we haven't been here in 2 weeks, there was something that kind of made its rounds in the past 2 weeks of news that I thought Neptune would love to touch on. So I've been kind of itching to bring it up. About how the U.S. military has the lowest recruiting numbers in over 80 years, and they're blaming it on what is it? They're blaming it on the fact that they can't get enough white people to recruit.
What?
Uh,
Oh, because the way it went down. What is it now? Like
it, it
just the white
their
people was down a
their
lot.
forecast for 23 was 44,000 uh, in the demographic of white/European, and it's down to I think it was like 32 or
20
33.
was when is it?
It
26
might
or something? Twenty six
it
thousand.
might be lower.
I
Um,
thought it was like 26,000. They said for like that's the number that's actually instead of 40 something it was 26 or well whatever. It's 20
well,
something thousand from 40,000.
there's a mathematical certainty that if there was any one group that resisted more than anyone else to get the winning the flu vaccine, it was white Europeans, and as had happened a couple years ago, there was a whole situation with the U.S. military where if you didn't get the vaccine, if
They
you
would
absolutely
they would fire you.
they
Yeah,
were
that was recently retracted, wasn't it?
they were administratively
Retracted,
yeah.
and they are even asking for people to come back.
Yes,
Both.
they administratively discharged a not insignificant number
That it
of
was. I
active.
think I remember it was over 8,000, but there
Yeah,
was probably more than that.
yeah, and that was the number that was reported, but they administratively discharged a not insignificant number of service members, and I guess because of the fact that they've hit shortfall with recruiting quotas, that has been walked back, which as I explained to Bandit and to Jimmy some time ago, I suspected that would be the case uh, because I knew it wouldn't last for long. Recruiting across the across the entirety of Department of Defense is down.
I
So
mean,
no no
the
argument.
incentives evidently now are so crazy. So, a person I know, their cousin just got into the Navy, and
Yep.
evidently they're offering like, I mean, sorry, Air Force, but they aced the test.
They're
So
There-
Air Force, if they're acing all the tests, they're never going to really see violence. So at least there's that. But yeah, they're incentivizing people with a lot of money.
they are offering the largest sign-on bonuses that we've seen since the opening days of GWOT from the Global War on Terror. And
I know a kid that at 28 years old, he waited for his parents to go on vacation, and he went and signed up for the Marines because the recruitment guy convinced him that he was just going to be in the part that was going to let him learn about aviation and learn how to make planes. And I laughed at him.
Wow.
And now he's like in Japan somewhere now that he's done with basic and everything. And I'm just like, poor Josh, like you chose the wrong time to sign up for the military, buddy.
I told anybody's like, don't be gun ho. This is World War III. This is not a joke.
Yeah.
Don't act. We are going to potentially be recruited. Like this is dead serious. Like, okay, see, like everybody that's in this chat could literally be recruited because once they raise the age to 60, we're all screwed.
Yeah, they do. They do recall operations every so often, and something that Bandon and I both get on a regular basis are.
Do you want to go? If you go back, what are you doing?
Can you come back either as a instructor in your field, or can you come back to active duty to fill a role?
They likely would make you instructors, right?
It depends on what your military occupational specialty was. It depends on what role you can fill. Equipment training would probably be something the bandit would do. If they brought, yeah,
he will be saying a lot more words than how about no. You know that. How many short words per minute can he say?
There'd be a lot of hard no there. But to get back to the point, yes.
He doesn't want to see any accidental shootings. That's the problem. The amount of people that just die in training is people don't know.
All right.
It's insane the amount of people that die just in basic training.
We need a separate segment, I feel like, to really open that topic. But I have talked about this at length, and I feel as though if they try to widen the margins so much, we will be repeating Robert McNamara's 100,000 experiment over McNamara's morons. I've touched on that topic a few times, and it's a very low point for the U.S. military. You don't fix a problem by throwing bodies at a problem.
No.
Wait, so you're talking about McNamara like recruiting 100,000 useless idiots, essentially?
Yeah, the nickname is McNamara's morons. Yes.
Well, I don't demean the people that went to war. I mean in the sense that they were not prepared.
And I will absolutely not discount what the poor souls that had to deal with that got roped into that conflict. But the larger implication is that we are currently at risk of repeating that same problem because people higher up and that make more money than we'll make in a lifetime have somehow decided that throwing bodies at a problem resolves a problem, and it doesn't. I love your soundboard, Jimmy.
Jimmy is on a roll.
He is on a roll. But to the original point, before I get any further off track, yes, white recruiting is down, and it was brought up, and there was a call for the senior enlisted members of each branch to go before a Senate Select Committee to discuss both quality of life issues and retention issues within the United States military.
So are they going to actually start talking about all the rape?
I certainly hope so. That's one of the biggest issues.
Oh, okay. So they're not going to actually address anything.
Yeah, I press big X for doubt, but yes.
Even though that's probably like 80% of the problem.
You know, if they could address every single problem that happened at Fort Hood, they would have resolved about 70% of all problems in the United States military today. But It's a bad culture problem.
I'm
It's
sorry. I know that's
This is a clown.
terrible.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all a clown show. So
No,
it's a
no,
clown show, but
it's
it,
just no. Like what
have
you're you're talking. I know you went straight to Fort Hood and just like that shit. Just I
I don't
mean,
know the story of Fort Hood,
oh my
so
god. Uh,
there are layers to that. Um,
so many layers.
um, but I want to stay on track for a moment. So there are a lot of underlying problems that undermine uh, trust in chain of command, and I would say that despite them saying that white recruitment is down, I wouldn't say it's a blanket problem across the board. A lot of it has
Well,
mitigating factors,
well,
including
aren't they going to become? Aren't we going to become Starship Troopers essentially shortly? Where they're just going to offer citizenship with recruitment.
man, we are really approaching that vector, aren't we? That's I know that was talked about recently. Offering, offering citizenship.
It wasn't a Democrat from the North State, Illinois. I think
Uh,
it was an older guy.
yeah,
Starts with a C, maybe. He
Jimmy,
was basically
see if you can find that article.
it was him straight up speaking. We're basically
Yeah,
letting these people through the border because we're going to use them as cannon folly, right? I mean, I'm translating his actual thinking. We're
yeah, there,
gonna put them in the front lines of our wars, right?
yeah, and
Right?
that's it's
He forgot that's a closed door meeting. He's become a little senile and he forgot that it was a closed door meeting. You don't openly say we're about to let all these
yeah,
people in so we can do trickery with all of them. They don't
yeah,
know. These people that
and
are coming in don't know they're about to be used by the empire.
the sad reality of that, I feel though, as if for all the issues that the Department of Defense is having right now, that if there is the potential of future conflict, which there is, that they have to supplement the numbers that are down. And, there's a lot of underlying factors. What I was getting at is there is a there is a problem with trust and chain of command. There is a problem with quality of life, um, work life balance, um, and
It's easy.
both
Compensation's too low.
and
Not rocket science.
and compensation. Yeah, absolutely. And then you factor in the reality that 3 years ago, because it will be, yeah, it will be 3 years ago in March, I believe it was, that the order came down that there would be a warning if you did not get the vaccine, that you would be administratively discharged, and they did that. I think it was June of 21 or July of 21, somewhere in that time frame that that had been done.
I believe
It
that
might have,
was yeah. I believe I remember when Carson was actually talking about it because they were even though he was doing like some private contracting things, they were like, "Nah, bro, we're gonna have to make you do this."
he wasn't in the battlefield
That's what I'm saying.
even.
Yeah,
He was
no,
working
they
with
were,
machines. Like
yeah.
what is the
and
reason? He is working generally, not touching
and
people, not in an enclosed environment.
Facts.
the saddest reality of that, as far as retention goes, is it, it's telling that they walked that policy back.
Yep.
It almost, it shows that they were telling on themselves.
100%.
Whoever has the codec ringtone, I love that, by the way. I heard that. It's telling because they told on themselves that
Yeah.
it was never a major factor, and as many people have said, and I will say again, that if there is one problem that the Defense Department has, is that the majority of what DoD does is politically driven. Uh, the troops and Department of Defense have tried for many years to remain sort of ambivalent of any political machinations that happen behind the scenes, but it has gradually grown to a point that it's more obvious in the public eye. And for
So
them to have ejected 8, 9,000 uh, service members, only to now be begging them to come back, and in place of them, open the doors to citizenship for people who would be willing to sign up and enter the service,
well,
uh,
I
and
was,
offer them
it's
citizenship to that effect.
it's actually
It's
funny that
it's
you're bringing
it's
that up.
telling
It's
that.
actually funny that you bring it into that direction, because something else I had pulled up, which is sort of related but sort of not related, is there seems to be a whole lot of issues going on in Luis's neck of the woods with the batches of migrants that have come in and whatnot. Apparently, leaving they love leaving cups of poo and pee all over the streets of New York City. Apparently, and
Gross.
maybe folks like that could be signed up for it if that's what they need to do. I guess, is that what you're saying? They might have to sign up and send those people to war.
Well, firstly, those people are not the people they're going to send
Oh, why
necessarily.
not?
Those are the ones under the nanny state for now.
Oh.
Those are the ones being fooled that New York's going to protect them. New York's going to help them out. New York's going to treat them well. I'm like, New York's about to spit you out. But first,
didn't
it's going to
didn't
chew you, and then
did,
it's going to spit you out.
wait, didn't y'all just install meters for congested areas and how much money you have to pay if you have to sit in traffic?
In a few months, I will not ever enter Manhattan ever again. I am not paying $19 in a car just to enter Manhattan. Like, Eric Adams, go fuck yourself. City Council, go fuck yourself, you fucking criminal pieces of shit. You are criminals. And I will
Yeah,
openly say it.
baby. Yeah.
The mayor of New York is an active criminal, and so is the city council, and so is all the scum that is actively taxing people for the impoverishment of people, for them to leave.
And they're just going to
They're
turn
just
around and use it.
they're just elitist garbage.
Yeah, they're just going to turn around and use that revenue to put in more anti-homeless benches, probably.
Well, okay. There's a town here in Georgia with us, Neptune. I've lived there before. I pass through it a lot dealing with work. It's Griffin and Spalding County, and there's a bunch of weird mystery and stuff eluding around this town. That's ironically on like the 33rd parallel and all this shit. Like there's some weird shit about this town. But okay, they make I learned recently that they have one of the highest tax profits of every county in the state. They control the power of that county. It's all done
Wait,
through
is this the
the
county in Georgia that's private?
This is the county in Georgia that Doc Holliday is actually buried in.
But what I'm saying is that I remember Georgia has a whole place in Georgia that is
no, this isn't this one.
privately ran.
No, I know which one you're talking about, and no, it's not. It's not this one.
How
This
is
is
that one?
from what I hear is pretty awesome. There's only like 21
Wait,
residents.
wait a minute.
21
Is it
residents? No, they
is
can't
this
be
the
21 residents.
Yeah.
is this
That
the
can't be
county
possible.
that got propped up to fucking put a mobile home on one property and use it for a special taxing district
No,
just to
no,
make ancillary revenue?
I-
That happened in Texas several years ago, but Georgia,
Yeah,
South
no.
Carolina, and a few other
No.
states on the East
Well,
Coast.
he's
have been
talking
doing
about
that.
another place, but I'm talking about there's one place in Georgia that literally is a community that's completely
Yeah,
private.
it's a
Private
private
police and everything.
community. Yeah, there's a whole
Everything's private.
there's a whole community that was like it's all like privatized off, and if I'm not mistaken, there's like only 20 something people in that town. Like that's a
Then why would so basically they're just rich people that separated themselves and have their own jurisdiction? Isn't that already kind of
correct.
sketch?
Mhm. But what I'm talking about, this is a banging full ass town like that has a tax profit division because they make so much money. This town also controls the entire county's water and electricity. You have to pay that county for the water and electricity in that town. and quite a few other things.
This
And
sounds like a special taxing district.
today I was driving by the high school, and I noticed that beside their less than 5 year old cool digital sign that's sitting out there to announce the high school, there's a brand new cool giant digital sign sitting out there that they're getting ready to unveil. They spent $6 million on new signs for welcome to town signs. There's been tons of movies filmed there, and they've gotten tons of kickbacks for that too, of course. Uh, there's the point blank is I was talking to a guy. I was installing some stuff in his house. His wife is a state. She's like a state senator or something, but not for that district. He said that they're from like another district or whatever. They just moved to that specific town, and him and her are apparently appalled at how corrupt that town's everything is. Like it was quite the interesting conversation I had with this old gentleman today, and he was like standing right there with his senator wife, just ripping that county to pieces,
Well,
talking about like this is what we're after, like this is what we're trying to fix.
well, it looks like at least Texas just told the federal government to eat it.
Oh yeah, is that what that is?
Finally. Yep. But from the best news source, one of the best actual news sources on the internet. If you can play that, that's one of the most solid news sources we have in this country.
I actually know how to do this, and I'm gonna do it while we're
Do it.
considering the conversation.
Because that is top notch, one of the best news sources you can find. CNN, Fox News don't even hold a torch to this institution. They have more integrity in a fin that the institution has between all their thumbs. Hopefully soon we will witness its glory. And you all have probably seen it before.
I'm sorry. I'm moving as quick as I can get it to move.
Computer,
Download.
follow
Well, because
Jimbob's
I've
orders.
figured out that if I just download the videos using one of the cool devices out there to download things from, that I can just totally bring things up easily. So I'm gonna close us out and bring this video up. Everybody, chill out for a moment.
Breaking! The governor of Texas has declared an invasion of the state and has declared a right to self-defense. The governor went on to blame the federal government and the Biden administration for failing to protect the state from the increasing amount immigration. The Supreme Court recently ruled that the federal government is allowed to cut down the razor wire put up by Texas officials.
See, now that's news. No spin.
News. Yeah, like
Crazy that the SpongeBob fish can give better accurate reporting than CNN.
I love the SpongeBob fish. I think he's one of the best.
You didn't expect to live in the reality where SpongeBob fish would be the more valid news source than the talking heads on television. Wait, are you sure? Is that you, Neptune? Are you sure?
I don't know, man. I don't know what to expect anymore.
That's right. I mean,
don't worry. When Paperboy Prince is vice president of the United States, you'll just ask more questions and you'll never get answers.
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
Yeah, there's a guy here called Paperboy Prince trying to run for office.
You mean I can ask questions like,
"Is mayonnaise an instrument?"
and maybe get answers for once?
From Paperboy? Yeah, you should talk to Paperboy since he's running for president. He'd be fun.
I
can ask him.
Yeah,
yeah. He's pretty. I actually like him. He's very smart. He actually has somewhat good skills at the concept of spin.
So
here's
guy. I had.
He's just interesting as a name and a character, but he's actually like, I talked to him. I was like, okay, you are genuinely very smart, but why?
So I thought you guys would get a good laugh at this. This was shared in our group chat by Bandit the other day, and I totally had it pulled up already to talk about on here this evening. But of course, Bandit's totally busy tonight, and we miss him, and I hope he'll be back next week. But he shared this. He said this is how it started, and here we go. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, it's talking about when Hertz was going to do all of the electric vehicle changing and such.
Yep,
Talking
and now they're selling all of them
and then
fast as they can.
yeah. The best part is the next thing. They're going to sell all 20,000 of their EVs to shift back to gas powered cars.
If they continually push
I'll
on
be right
electric
back.
vehicles the way that they are right now, which, unless this is changed, GM has allegedly committed that as of 2025, they are going to stop producing gas combustion vehicles. I am curious to know how that's going to work out for them.
Yeah.
I don't know where Ford is on that topic, but I feel like, you know, we could be looking at the same thing GM asked for a bailout for. Oh, hell, I don't know. What was that, 16 years ago?
Oh,
I'm throwing shade at General Motors right now.
I mean, might as well, because the only reason they're still here is because of that bailout.
Yep.
I mean, these change my mind type situation. Like those dudes extremely dropped the ball there, and honestly deserved what they got. And if they as far as like if they were failing, that's what they deserved, was to fail.
So, you know, I don't know where EVs are going. It's not sustainable. At least,
I do.
mean, they have their place, but they don't have a commercial line use.
The people that think that there's a commercial use for EVs are the same people that think that the delicious steak on my table was sad that it got killed. And I have just only kind of like I only kind of have like one thing for them, and that would kind of be
Retard alert! Retard alert, class!
Saddest thing is half those fucking idiots can't afford those fucking cars that they're trying to fucking prop up anyways.
That's right. Like,
That was
I mean,
the perfect sound bite for that, by the way. I don't know where you came up. I don't know where you got the sound bite for that, but that was
that come from our buddies.
You
That come
know-
from our buddies Matt and Trey over there on South Park.
You know when you're ready, and then other people are like, "Hey, do you have any of these things?" I'm like, "Yes, here." Because so they cut his power, as I told him.
no.
So I sent you guys that footage of the electrical underneath the car.
Yes,
It wasn't that the car was on fire. By the way, if that were a Tesla,
it would have burned for 7 days, so hot that not a single fireman could have touched it.
it takes, they said, 50,000 gallons of simultaneous exposure is kind of the best.
and
I
and
read,
I
I
followed.
listened to a firefighter. I listened to a firefighter say that they submerged a Tesla that was on fire, and it still
was
burnt
still
for
burning.
days.
And there were idiots that were still trying to come at Fire Department Chronicles who shared one of those instances where an EV
They were
caught
attacking
on
the
fire.
guy.
They went after
They
them.
reprimanded him for saying the truth. Like I'm not sure if it was him. There was another firefighter that was explaining your bed is like
Yeah.
8 barrels of oil. Like your entire house is explosive and energetic.
Yeah.
We just don't think about it. But
so-
your entire house is
Even
covered.
more
That's
so
why
now
your
that
house is small.
refrigerators, even more so now that
The-
refrigerators are filled with a butane-based gas and a butane-based styrofoam.
That's so smart.
The counter argument was that an EV is still somehow allegedly safer than a combustion vehicle.
Under
even
what premise? Look,
under the premise that combustion vehicles are more likely to catch on fire than an electric vehicle.
Says
doesn't-
who?
Yeah, and that was
Says
where I
nobody.
was like,
Nobody could
like,
have been
show
that
me
stupid and such a
show
statement.
me. Yeah, no, I'll have to find the original video.
Did
for
you
that again.
did you just see the PhD guy that said that having a garden in the back of your house is dirtier than industrial monoculture?
I'm sorry.
That growing
Yes.
crops behind your house is dirtier than industrial monoculture.
And as Bandit said,
Okay.
now I'm going to make my garden 3 times larger just because of that guy.
I'm gonna become more of a.
My camera's
mean,
not
I love
working
all
right
the
now, but my
comment.
eye is twitching and my
No,
inner
no, no. The
Uncle
best
Ted
thing is all the comments on the article are
yeah.
basically, "Are you? What is this nonsense? Are you high? Who are you, Doctor Stupid?" Like, you, if this idiot, this genuine idiot who sold his career off for an article,
You know
really
what?
needed that money, you shouldn't be studying for a PhD if
Hey.
you needed that money.
Hey, you know what?
An idiot.
He's right up there with the as we were just speaking on with the other people we were just talking about, and he totally needs the alarm.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
So
Thank you,
if
Mr.
South Park
Thank you,
says
Mr.
it,
Garrison.
so if South Park say it, you can say it because
Thank
South
you,
Park said it.
Thank you, Mr. Garrison. Well, have you seen? Okay, it's funny that you're going to bring that up because did you see? There's one episode out there that they give a lot of shit to, but in the episode they explain why they're doing it, and it makes it
Which, I
sound
mean, they
okay.
explain it. They explain it in the Mormon. So the
Have you
Mormon
seen? Have you
episode, I love how they eventually say, everything we just said is the actual story. I
have
don't
you seen
remember.
the
There's a part
ones?
they actually tell you this is the actual story. By the way,
Have you seen the one where they're talking about the motorcycle guys, the jerks that like to get up beside people and rev their engine and ride up and down the road and be loud? Okay, well the kids get brought to court because the word they're calling them is a hate crime. And the kids argue that no, like we're not making fun of homosexual people. People that are just jerks that rev their engine up and down with their Harleys loud all up and day are FAGs. And like the whole episode, they're going on about that, and it's so hilarious. Like if you actually find the episode now, unless you watch it on like YouTube, it's totally censored. It's beeped out.
really?
Yes.
I mean, you can probably for sure when you buy the collections, you get the episode.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. There's a couple episodes they don't even air anymore, like at
No,
all,
but
because they're so
there's
bad.
episodes they don't air. Like they don't air the. I don't think they air the Mormon episode anymore.
They don't. But you
They
can totally
pissed off the Mormons. That's like they already got away with the free speech related to the. I wonder what like how they were harmed by Mormons because they really had it out for the Mormons, or is it just because the religion is too funny?
I think the religion is just too funny.
Wait,
Yeah,
might be a little out of the loop on
Dum da dum dum dum.
going after Mormons. Have to see this one.
You've
South
never
Park
seen
did
the you've never seen the episode where they did a whole that actually ended up
the whole
becoming
story.
that actually ended up becoming a musical that Trey
No,
and
the
Matt.
musical came way before that episode.
Does it?
Are we talking about? Are we sure we're talking?
I remember
about
seeing
more,
the episode and been thinking, wait, they already have that, so they made it off the show.
Are we
They used the
absolutely-
show as inspiration for the episode.
Are we sure that
Because
we're
they're-
talking about
because-
about the Church of Latter-day Saints, or are we talking about the Church of Scientology that resulted
The Book of Mormon.
More. No.
All
The
right.
Scientology thing is a whole separate episode. The
Yeah,
Book of Mormon.
and that
No, they do a
and I re-
Scientology
I re-
episode.
I remember the entire arc because I still watched South Park on a regular basis back when I was in high school. When Isaac Hayes,
I mean, I still watch
completely lose
South-
his fucking mind over that.
I watched South Park in
I
sixth grade.
I still watch South Park now. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, it's
Come
just
on.
harder
It's
to
still
access.
good.
You have cable, I guess, or you pay for the whatever channel that has it. Or
What?
Hulu? I don't know.
No.
What is it
no.
on? Pirate it? You'd have
I-
Pirate It Daily or ComedyCentral.com or
I use Cinema HD. It is a loopholed streaming service that uses access to every streaming service that exists to watch whatever I want, when I want, how I want. And that's the only thing I've used for like 10 years, bro. Like I don't pay for TV.
What is this like popcorn?
Yeah, but it was before popcorn.
And they don't charge. They just steal you the data from your computer, probably.
They steal the data from my hacked Amazon Fire Stick.
So they're watching you through the television's vibrational frequency expression. Okay.
That's fine. I used to run it through phones and then project it through the TV, and then I
do-
figured out that I could hack the Amazon Fire
Okay,
Stick.
do you
And
remember the Dark Knight movie where
Yes.
evidently he uses everybody's microphones
Yeah.
to do something?
Yeah.
All right, Facebook has patented technology that reads the screen.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know how effective it is, though. I'd love to see it, though. I'd really love to see how that works.
I
I'm
mean,
genuinely super curious
you
how the
know,
fuck that works.
that's been a thing that going back to the early 90s, that's been something the U.S. has been trying to get right for decades.
They probably figured it out by now. It's just they're not going to openly tell you. By the way,
Absolutely.
we can. You know,
No,
you've seen it. You've seen the machines
agreed.
that can read your voice through
Yes.
walls.
And you're
So
talking
it's something like that, but on
Yeah.
steroids.
And you're talking about Brother Eye from the Batman movie. And, Brother Eye has been a staple of, the Batman series for 20 years. And it's been, evaluated through other movies in Hollywood for at least the last 15, 20 years. So they've been working on that as a technology for forever. And yeah, I'm sure that they were
By
already
now, it's
working on that.
perfected.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Oh, another interesting
Because
fact about
Fast
sound
and
is
Furious, what do they call it? God's Eye, and all the Batman stuff, all the Batman comics, they call it Brother Eye, and it's basically that. It's mass surveillance and data.
how competent do you actually think they are with people's data?
Not at all.
No. I'm not talking about people's the security of their data. That we know it's a joke. We know that's a joke. I am speaking of how, because there's TV, there's movies, there's all this nonsense, and then there's actual people in the agencies that talk to you and tell you things they've experienced. How good do you genuinely think, if they actively wanted to have intelligence on you, how much do you think they could gather? Hypothetically, if they wanted intelligence on you, like you right now, what do you think they could do to you? What's a hypothetical? What they could actually do if they wanted to listen to you, if they wanted to survey your emails, which is the easiest thing, but if they generally wanted to hear your conversations, what are the different tactics in your understanding in this related to computers?
I mean,
your thing.
They would get very high level metadata at best. And they would not have the professionals needed to actually be able to do this.
But that's the other thing. They don't. But they don't have the professionals right now. But that's the thing. They're building. They're Palantir is building that.
Yeah.
Palantir is building Eagle Eye. Thank you, Palantir.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
What's it called? This guy, Peter Thiel.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
He is literally building Skynet as fast as he can.
He is.
Why are you building Skynet, bro? I get it. I get you're fucking smart. But don't do that.
Right?
Why I don't get it. Why do you want to build Skynet?
Why do they want
Uber? He's already one of the richest people on the planet. What the fuck else do you want in your life?
There is a larger discussion to have around the use of Eagle Eye and Brevo as a security solution, because that's, as of now, at least
that's the CCP's wet dream.
FBI, open
up! You better chill, man.
It obviously has its advantages.
Didn't mean to hit it twice.
It has its advantages.
They would stop knocking soon after.
Yeah, they wouldn't stop. It has its advantages, obviously. It serves its purpose, but it has its inherent drawbacks in security. And the scope of where we're going with surveillance, and I'm thinking of certain websites that will, if you can figure out the password for a for a remote monitored camera, you got the static IP, put colon 8080 behind it, and if someone wasn't smart enough to put admin, if someone wasn't smart enough to change that, guess what? They're looking inside your home. They're looking at what you're doing.
Bruh.
So
I mean, you're not going to be. You're. I mean,
it's there's
you're going to have a
there's
lot
a
of
hell
memes.
of a yep.
You're going to see. For me, you're going to see a lot of memes. The complete and utter chaotic nonsense that I look up from our group chat on a regular basis. And like me sitting on the couch with my kids, like that's probably about the excitement of their life, because I'm one step at a day trying to take over the world.
Fourth Amendment things are not something I've talked about in a while, but a person's right to privacy is.
I agree.
It's still something I keep close to the chest.
Yeah.
And day by day, we're
everybody should
giving it
be
up.
very, very, very concerned, and I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah,
Everybody should be extremely concerned.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Make a clone of me?
No, Jimmy, they'll just make a deep fake of you for your biggest haters to come after.
Well, I mean, look, they
They
already watched my sex tape, and they pay to watch the rest of them too. So,
because of course there's videos of you out there, Jimbob.
bro, what you talking
I'm sure
about?
they're not Jimbob.
Bro, what you talking about? My OnlyFans.
That's what the Hollywood is about.
My OnlyFans be popping, yo. What you talking about? Like, there's my haters are my biggest fans, and they're my number one subscribers, making sure they can see all my good stuff. They love seeing me shake my little pirate booty.
But thankfully, you don't promote that alternative channel here.
That's right. That's right. We don't talk about
friendly.
that. That's right. But
man,
if you ever, but it is what it is. But in other news, I seen two interesting things that fell one behind the other this week. The first one being Zelensky basically openly saying that he wants peace talks and wants to meet in Switzerland or whatever for it.
Saw that coming.
Which to me is saying, oh, okay. So
that was a few days ago, so I'm not sure if it's gonna happen.
So, and then you turn around and you look at the other news today that Russia just
Yemen's popping off.
Russia just surpassed Germany and is now the richest European country.
I think the source was RT, so that's questionable.
Still, dude, come on.
I will say
everybody wants to hate on Russia, but they went back to gold a little while back, and they've been doing a whole lot better than they thought they would be.
I am sure it's slightly a little exaggerated, but at the same time, yes, they were creeping up on the UK on Germany because Germany has been in a down. I was speaking to somebody very connected and very smart, and he was
what
just
happens when Germany's in a downward spiral.
No. You know what happens when we emulate the exact same dynamics of 1930s Germany? Okay, let's look at Hollywood. Okay, end of story. Let's not repeat history. Thank you.
All right.
We are repeating history at an accelerated rate. You know what we are now? We're in the 30s. We're not even in the 20s. We're straight up 30s.
No,
we're going to be in the 40s in 6 months.
All right. So 2 years ago, when this podcast started, I talked about us approaching I talked about us approaching a period of hyperinflation, and I was dismissed at the time that no, we're not there yet. We definitely are right now. We're approaching a period of hyperinflation.
Do you know what's middle class? Do you know what's middle class today? What is middle class?
Yeah, there is no middle class. And what happens?
What do you think? What do you think middle class is as a number, like a salary number? Take a wild guess of what's the true new estimates.
1980 adjusted for now, $30,000 40 years ago would be somewhere in the ballpark of about 150 grand. So
$164,000. So essentially, everybody's fucked.
Yeah. So fuck me, fuck us, fuck all that shit. Right? We're in a period of hyperinflation. All the patterns are there. They're buried in the.
By the way, the whole world is going through hyperinflation simultaneously.
Absolutely. And that will cause mass breakdown on a global scale that we haven't
No,
seen.
that's what's going to cause the reset. And it's going to be probably called the Amero, the North American Union. They're going to come back to
Hey,
that.
either way, I don't know
The
if you need to know.
Amero.
Look, either way, whichever way it goes, I can tell you one thing for sure. All of those photo enforcement cameras hold about 5.5 pounds of copper. I don't know who needs to know that, but there you go.
Also, the sensors that they're going to install in Manhattan hold even more copper, platinum, and other materials that curious minds should always question the carbon footprint of the state's surveillance network.
Please get the
I
more
believe
you
it's
know
too high.
soundboard on there, Jimmy. The more you know. Yep. Yep.
You know what's really effective? Paintball.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not more artistically utilized in this
Man,
book.
I used to love paintball.
Yep.
No, but can you make paintballs that are with liquids that will never come off?
There's definitely a way to do that, and it absolutely involves making a cornstarch slurry with a little bit of petroleum jelly and
What?
some black food coloring.
What? Really? All
Yep.
right. That's a hilarious mix. Did you see the video on Instagram? I love this guy. You found it. You've seen this guy that wears glasses and shows you how to make weapons, explosives, and just like actively shows you how to do a crime from the anarchist cookbook.
Don't
He's
know.
just literally using the anarchist cookbook and doing everything in the book, and then telling you what's in the book. You've
He
seen this
sounds
guy
like
with the
a
glasses?
great guy.
The guy with the glasses, with the giant yellow glasses.
He sounds like a great guy, actually. Like that.
You've seen his videos.
I
Like
probably have.
he just did one on like
I
making chlorine.
I probably have too. Where was I going with all that? Because we got way off topic right there.
I apologize. I'm bad about that.
Shit. Had a brain fart there for a moment. Oh, key thing with where we're going as far as like Germany and Russia.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're heading. Obviously,
It's gonna be a fun place. That look,
it's
the beautiful future is that robots are going to create a level of human prosperity never witnessed in the history of the human race, and there will be more balance in our future coming soon. How we achieve this balance, I have no idea, but it's gonna involve a lot of staining.
I mean, drone warfare is definitely showing itself to be what's
They're
coming.
used. So I was talking to a military drone contractor.
Yeah. Okay.
So American drones, the newer ones are really good. They're unjammable, at least relatively unjammable,
Yep.
and they're like
we've
cheap,
been
$50,000 per unit. I'm like, that's hella cheap, and this is units that can handle hundreds of pounds. So so basically, if you wanted, it could carry 100-pound bomb and go at 100 miles per hour.
Ukraine already has their hands on some
No,
of them.
no, 60 miles per hour.
Oh?
Yeah, yes, they're in Ukraine. Yeah. He told me they're in Iraq. He was selling them everywhere.
The FPV
He's an
drones
equal opportunity arms contractor, arms dealer.
Yeah. The FPV drones are already in Ukraine, and yes, they are highly effective.
Yeah.
General Dynamics definitely knew what they were doing when they built them, and they're fucking terrifying. Drone warfare will probably be the future. That being said, there were some talks.
The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah. Yep. Look, military capabilities aside, At this point, there's becoming less of a question of if Russia and the Western allied powers are more of a near peer adversary or not, but uh, the the fact of the reality remains. And Jimmy, I don't want to get into this tonight. I'd like to do this next week.
Okay.
Is the reality that we in the U.S., the Western powers have a differing view of warfare, specifically that we calculate losses in a way that I don't think Russia really cares as much as we do. And the same is true, I think, of any near peer adversary that we could potentially go up against in the future.
Yeah.
That we have adversaries that would be willing to go to ground and have a protracted battle of attrition.
Because of
The
course they
United
do.
the United States does not want to do that, and it has influenced wartime policy in history, as we have seen. That is still true today. More than that, there is still, in quantifying loss of life as a condition of battle and war, that we care more about minimizing casualties, speaking purely from their perspective of U.S. foreign policy, that Russia don't give a fuck. Russia
Right.
does not give one shit.
But so
And they really
what?
don't.
What's the point? The real question is, all right, what's the point of the show? What's the genuine, high level analysis of why this show? Let's truly see it from the outside. You're watching somebody playing Polytopia on the planet, just
Yep.
screwing around, just playing Civilization on Earth, like. But somebody's genuinely playing this game. So the question is, what's the objective of the game? Because this is not what it appears, and we all know it's never what it appears.
Yes.
So what is it really? And what's the purpose of it really? Is it
Well, that's a
is
good
it
question.
economic domination of the system? Is it because this is coordinated to a degree? It's not as chaotic as it looks. There is some
Right.
order to this.
There's
chaos.
layers to it. I have a theory. I
Ooh.
would rather save.
I love how people
the
think it's
wa-
that simple. I'm like, no, these people
No.
literally eat with each other. They're not hating on each other that much.
No, there's a larger theory to this. To Putin's point, and I won't give him credit for many things, is that Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia, the former Soviet Union, are very historically aligned. And I have a prevailing theory that a lot of what Putin intends to accomplish with this special military operation is to reunify the key, like the
You're giving him too much credit, bro. You're giving him too much credit.
I
Guy does
might
not
be,
think that far.
and I'm
Unless he
again,
really is. Wait.
I'm spitballing, but let me
Hitler was a
let me
fucking
finish
doofus.
this sentence.
Yes,
Let me finish this sentence. Putin was a KGB agent for 20 years before he got into power. He is a communist, and Soviet Union had Ukraine and Belarus under its purview before it ever got to where we are today. Ukraine de-armed in 95, 96 under Start 1. I'm leaving all that by the wayside. I don't know what his end goal is, but I still hold to this day that Putin is still and always has been a communist that has been wanting to reunify the Soviet powers under
The
the
richest
Cold War.
communist in Russia. He's
Well,
one of the richest men on the planet.
Not necessarily just him, and not just necessarily
I mean,
his near allies.
may I?
But
Wait,
there's
okay.
there's
I know that.
there's a lot to go into that.
I know this is crazy, but to branch off of what you're saying, because of me being the Looney Tune that I am, yes, exactly that. Because he's actually secretly immortal because he's Rasputin, and that's why he just got the Putin at the end. I'll shut up now.
I don't know what his end goal is here, and I am probably giving him too much credit. But as far
you're
as I'm
giving him too
concerned,
much credit. You're giving. I mean, yes, the
he's
guy
still
is not an
a
idiot,
fucking
but
commie cocksucker, and that's I'll leave it at
he's
that.
a terrible guy
fuck
that
him.
is literally slaughtering his own people. The same
Yeah,
as
he-
Biden. They're both
he is-
slaughtering their people. They're both shit.
He is. Yeah, no, he absolutely is 1,000%. But he is still following the doctrine of every fucking jackass that trained him from the beginning. He is Brezhnev incarnate, and I dare anyone to challenge me on that.
Oh my! That is a take. Like
I dare
Okay.
anyone to disprove this theory. If
All
he's
right.
willing to throw bodies at a problem in the way that he is as of right now, with the insurmountable casualties that Russia is sustaining, someone disprove me that he is not doing what his predecessors have done. Someone disprove me on that. Give me a hard answer on that. I'm not.
I mean, do you remember
much credit with
the
that,
Stalingrad
again.
stories of the soldiers that had to grab the gun of the guy in front of them because they didn't have a gun?
Yes.
That's how screwed they were in Stalingrad. They were sending people without weapons into the battlefield.
Yes, they were literally sending people in front of them, grabbing the weapons and sending them off while having partisans behind them, making sure they don't fucking retreat.
So I want to.
There's a lot going on there. Like for what Russia is trying to accomplish. I don't give one rat's ass about Putin. I don't like Putin whatsoever. I never have, and I'm never going to defend him. But he knows he's got his
something
MO.
we don't.
He
knows something we don't.
Of course, he's the leader of a country. Of course, he's going to know a hell of a lot of things we don't know.
He knows how to fight a battle of attrition, the same as every fighting warfighter before him.
But Ukraine's literally copying their model in the worst way possible. They don't need to try. But
yeah,
how many Ukrainians
and they have less ground to cover, right? And that's the reason that Russia is having such a problem in that aspect. I feel that Russia has more ground to cover. Ukraine has less ground to cover. When you're playing a defensive holding action, if you have less ground to defend, you're probably in a better position than your enemy.
If the United States actually wanted to really get involved and not send like 10 troops, so they're involved. So I can tell you 100%.
1,000%. Yeah.
They are literally running the show, but they are running the show with Ukrainian lives. So it's still disturbing, but they are 100% running the whole thing. Yeah. I've met a few people that are contractors. It is fascinating how they're spinning it. They're spinning it as nonprofits. I'm like, okay, guy, you're a nonprofit, sure.
Look,
sure, buddy.
What I'm really trying to circle up at is the reason that Russia can still get away with what they're doing, and they will continue to be successful at it until they're not. And Jimmy, for that point, I would like to bring this up probably next week. When I want to talk about the doomsday clock, is Russia has at their disposal, they can't afford to fight a battle of attrition. Okay. A lot of the European nations cannot afford to do that. Russia can afford to throw bodies at a problem. It's not the right way to do things, in my opinion, but They can't afford
It's
to do it,
it's the Russian
and
way.
it is their way.
It is the
Brute,
Russian way to do things. They've been
brute,
throwing bodies at things for a minute.
brute force
Yeah, yeah,
is their mo.
yeah. Yeah. You know, and
Attack a hard target, try to hold that position, and move on.
and to pepper it in, you know, I know everybody keeps looking at me like I'm crazy when I say it, but I even heard Cat Williams say it. You know, we still need to keep our little eyes over there on crazy little fat boy in North Korea that I hope does ban me from his country, because that
I
would be
I
that would be another marker on my tally
the
that I'd be
the
banned
the,
from.
the Cat Williams interview is
Oh,
like,
I love that interview. That interview was great.
but to me it was only like 5 minutes of good stuff, because all I really cared about, all the gossip stupid stuff was
There was a
hilariously
lot of good.
stupid to
There was
me.
a lot of good stuff throughout the thing.
But the
Aside the
gossip,
gossip.
the yeah, that was the only thing that
Aside
was
the
like,
gossip.
if I could have just edited out all those gossip points, the only one that was interesting was the actor getting how many movies? Fast and Furious, 20 of them. They're gonna make 20 Fast and Furious.
I knew that actually. Back when we fed the cast of Fast Five,
They said there's 20 in the pipeline.
the dude was like, there's gonna be at least 15 to 16 more of these.
It's profitable, and I guess
Like
Cargo Fast 42.
Cargo Fast 42. Vroom, vroom. Like it's I don't know.
I mean, we're going into space already, bro. Like they're gonna be or they're gonna be like Dragon Ball
God.
Z. They're gonna be like Dragon Ball Z. They're getting more powers as the show. Didn't you notice that suddenly Dwayne and the other guy have superpowers? I'm like,
So
what the hell did that
so wait,
happen?
so
Every
now
time
not
they've been jumping the shark on top of the shark, they've been getting more fantasy based. They're becoming GI Joe mixed, like they're becoming a million things, which in itself is interesting storytelling. I'll give them that. I haven't seen the recent ones, but it sounds like a crazy story.
uh uh I'm good. Like I'm good. I wish they would come up with something original. Like we've already had a copycat of Dragon Ball Z. That's what Sonic the Hedgehog is. Like they're literally the same exact story. What? Oh, you're gonna look at me
Oh,
funny?
Journey
Oh,
to
you.
Explain it
the
to me, please. No, explain it.
So
Explain this.
I can.
You have
go
to.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I forget his name. The guy that developed Sonic the Hedgehog, he was actually inspired by Dragon Ball Z, and
Correct.
before that, he was inspired by Journey to the West. With that being said, the idea came from Goku going Super Saiyan. Is how they came up with the gems for Sonic. Is
The seven Dragon Balls, the seven gems.
yeah, there was an inspiration there.
He went from being a rabbit to having basically
Yeah, and
blue Goku.
I'll have to pull that story
They
up.
did make him gold. You're right.
They did an
turns
interview. They did an interview with the guy that the main author of the Sonic series, where they actually talked about that, and he was like, "We love Dragon Ball so much that it was supposed to be an homage to the Dragon Ball series."
Well, okay,
It's
so if
really
he has
cool.
sepsis, then it's all cool.
He's
Because
got-
at the end
he's-
of the day, it wasn't that blatant of a copy at all. So it
Oh,
wasn't.
no,
It's
Sonic's
just an
amazing.
Well,
inspiration.
it's
I love
not
Sonic.
it's not until you see Supersonic, and then
In
you're
fact-
like, he goes fucking Supersonic
And-
and does the same thing
and
Goku does.
in fact, I made my decision,
parody.
and when I'm going to Atlanta Comic Con in 2 weeks, and I'm totally gonna go as Robotnik, and I'm bringing my kid with me for the first time, and my daughter's gonna
That's
be
gonna be
in.
fun.
My daughter is going to be. I got her a little Sonic the Hedgehog outfit, but it also has a skirt, so she's gonna be a little girl Sonic the Hedgehog, walking around with Daddy as Robotnik all day. So. Yeah.
Jimmy,
gonna be
I
cute.
have to show you something that
Neptune's got to see my Robotnik up close. Sorry.
Yes, I have to show you something that the wife found about a week and a half ago. We were in Bass Pro, and you'll understand when I just sent it to the group chat. So
I'm pulling it up now.
looks like some Oppenheimer shit.
That does look like some Oppenheimer glasses. Those are great. So, I did have weird, interesting video kind of thing. I know I like to bring up a conspiracy all the time, and there's nothing good. There's nothing as good as a tried and true good conspiracy, and one that even Steven's been in the group chat going ham about recently too. And it's the good old 9/11 conspiracy. You know, it always comes back around here and there every time. And but my favorite thing of the past week, I think, that has come to my attention was totally this really cool video that, well, it's a video now because I made it, but it was just a picture, a very interesting picture, and I wanted to get your two opinion on it while we were sitting here talking about it. So I'm gonna pull it up.
Oh, would you look at that? Just look at that. Say, would you look at that? Oh, would you look at that?
I
You guys
saw
see
that
this
picture
video?
a very long time
Picture?
ago.
Yeah,
That's not even a new picture. That
I know it's not even a new picture. I know it's not a new picture.
There's
It's nothing
another
new.
picture which I don't. That one looks crazy. It's Osama in bed with them beside him,
Really? I don't
like
think I've
in
seen
like
that
a hospital bed. The hospital. He's in a
All right.
hospital bed, and like they're posing next to. I'm like, it is so blatant that they dare to take pictures. Can you contemplate this? Like, you are so arrogant. You record evidence.
So
Like-
the thing, I mean, I don't know about this photo. I've never seen this. That's
I mean, who do you think you see
Uh,
there, Neptune?
I mean, can you fake this? Sure, but does it
That-
for some
that
reason
looks
tell
like
you feel it's real? It's surveillance.
that looks like HW Rumsfeld.
Looks like a pin camera. One of those pin cameras.
Yeah.
Obviously, whoever's going to be in a camera in that room is going to have
Cheney.
a very high
Rice.
security camera.
And a
it's
certain CIA agent.
yeah.
By the way, doesn't he
alright.
look flat? And he does look like not thin, and like the story said
No,
though.
it's,
He looks fluffy.
Yeah.
The opposite of what they described him to be. Isn't that interesting? Just contemplate that for a moment.
That looks like a photo, probably 96, 97 before the. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that tracks. So couple thoughts on that.
Yeah.
You know, we trained him. He got
Correct.
trained just up the road from me. He got
Correct.
trained in Glencoe.
Yeah.
Well, one question. So, was he just like powerful, or was he genuinely smart?
I do. Well,
Because he was rich from his family. Like his this Hussein
his
family is ridiculously
obviously
rich.
Obviously, his family was rich, but
He's
obviously
worth,
he had
not
money,
millions of
but
dollars. He had a lot of money.
he had money, but you know,
Plus, the CIA gave him more money. It's like he could.
and
And that's the question: is he just convinced them? It's like, hey,
and
guys, you know what's a great idea?
I'm
Give me
certain of
money.
that, but he was active with the Mujahideen, which we supported during the Soviet-Afghan war. And, you know, in the spirit of that, which, I mean, money, no object, like, if you're willing to fight for U.S. interests, the CIA is like, okay, here you go. Here's everything that you need.
Right.
There's a lot going on with that. Man, that's wow.
So
I
and
didn't
then
see that before. Wow.
and
that,
then
that did look like H.W. Cheney, Rumsfeld, and Condoleezza Rice, I think.
I've got another video. Yeah, it looked like in that room alone there was Rumsfeld, Cheney, Rice, and
And
Bush.
was that W or was that HW?
I thought that was HW.
I thought it
personally.
was. I thought it was too. It looked like the older Bush. It didn't look like. It
And-
didn't look like W.
And Steven hit me with a video today in the group chat that is really long, so I'm not actually going to share it like on this episode because it's like a 10-minute video. I think I'm actually going to I'm going to attempt to upload it to one of our pages. I'm actually going to find the other part 2 and see if Steven can get us the part 2 because he only sent me part 1 and I've seen the video before and it's a level of conspiracy that people get, you know, Jimmy's a complete nut job on, but like
You're not a
It-
complete nut job. You would have
it-
nuts in your head.
it has to do with the fact that there's a gigantic, huge, very big possibility that the second plane was all computer generated.
Yes, I know. Because there's almost no real footage of it.
Because there's almost no real footage of it. Kind of like the plane that doesn't exist in the Pentagon. You know, I've been. I don't know if are you guys familiar with what's his name? What is it? Trevor Moore. He's no longer with us. He died mysteriously at the age of 41 when he fell from his balcony and broke his neck.
Oh, the one that explicitly stated that
The whitest kid you know.
Yeah.
He was the creator of that. I've been going back and listening to some of his podcasts that he was doing during
He flat out
COVID.
he
Wait.
he
My
made
question.
deliberate
Wait.
references to
Listen,
CIA fuckery.
his jokes. All right, his stand up alluded to stuff. The whitest kids you know stuff always had some really dark truth humor in it. Especially the one where he goes to the school and teaches the kids about 9/11. Like
No.
that's some of the best stuff ever.
Remember that they said it was Cats. It was the Cats video. Can you play the Cats video, please? It's a beautiful piece of art.
So, well, okay. So the
I'm gonna look it up right now. The Cats
yeah, that's
video.
fine. The towards the end, during COVID, he was doing a bunch of podcasts, kind of like we're doing, and he was sitting there talking some super mad shit, like some really good shit. Like I've listened to a few episodes of it. It's definitely my level of like conspiracy type stuff where everybody's
What was his
just
full
like
name again?
Trevor Moore.
Paul Moore.
Trevor
Moore.
Paul, yeah, and he he was throwing some things out there that are just completely wild and off the wall, including a lot about 9/11 especially, and like, not just 9/11 in general. I think that's always something to go back and take good hard looks at, because none of the stories from those days add up at all anymore when you can look back at a lot of things now. There's that double-edged sword of technology and to being able to learn things. And this video, yes,
Yeah,
I know this
Oh.
video.
That was the one I was looking at.
Trevor
that
Moore.
was the one.
Trevor Moore killed. Oh, Kitty History.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
It's Kitty
these
History.
like they're
no,
all
that's-
great, but I do want to encourage you to go.
The whitest kid you know. No, there's the.
I really want to encourage you to check out some of those podcasts that he did, like before he died. You can find them on Google Podcasts before Google Podcasts is removed,
out that
because
video.
that's going away. By the way,
But okay. Question: Who? Yeah. Well, download things like the modern podcasting apps, but
yeah, of
like
course.
the 2.0 app that have no censorship. For now, they're gonna self-censor. The idiots. The idiots are gonna self-censor, but that's a choice they'll make. That's a choice they'll make, and that's a stupid choice they'll make.
But like, those are two things I want you guys to do some time and look again. I'm going to find a place to upload these 10-minute videos that I have that are some interesting perspectives of the green screen that could have very well been used. And I also want you to check out some of Trevor Moore's final podcasts. And creepily, to go along with it, you should go listen to the one that he does with Joe Rogan, because they make jokes about how it would suck to fall to your death and break your neck. And, ironically enough, he fell to his death and broke his neck from like the second balcony of his house. And
He mentions that in the video that I put in the comment.
Yeah.
I thought he died some other way. They didn't think he just fell off into the balcony.
Yep,
that sounds suspicious.
He was drunk. He was drunk and fell off the balcony.
Is it something in the podcast? Because I have never heard him say something so controversial. He would get whacked.
His podcasts are
Luis, watch that.
Explosive.
Watch the YouTube video that I put in the project.
And then there was really something super sick, is the whitest kids you know got together the day after of his death, and they did a podcast together. And like, I actually didn't finish the whole thing because I was just awfully disgusted at the way these dudes were making fun of their dead friend. Like, I don't know, man. There's some suspicious stuff going on there. I totally recommend you guys checking out into that stuff out there. Wherever you guys are watching, of course, tonight. Of course, I appreciate everybody that has been out here checking out the show and that will watch on the rewatch when you guys watch it or re-listen to it over there wherever you're listening to it at. I'm trying around some different things. I think next week, hopefully, everything will be set up and I'll be able to be on a brand new channel, even just so we can try to keep expanding and trying to keep testing the waters and seeing where we can find some stuff to get some more views. Of course, we appreciate all the folks that are out there watching as it is now, though. It's super awesome that you guys are doing what you're doing to keep up with us. And, I, of course, am getting close to my favorite time of the evening. Luis, I already dealt you some cards. And Neptune, do you have your box of cards handy?
I don't consent to some of these cards,
If
Jimmy.
you
Oh, I
can-
don't
if
care.
you can-
Do
if
you need
can throw me
cards?
a couple. I do.
I can throw you cards. I have cards on deck, especially since Bandit didn't show up tonight. I will deal you the cards that I had sitting in his hand.
All right.
All right. And of course, you guys know, as I announced last time, when our game Pirates Against Humanity, which is basically Cards Against Humanity, but online for everybody to see and enjoy for themselves. I was awesome. I used to just do the generator, but I was awesomely gifted the absolute everything box. So I've got a whole bunch of cool cards, and we've got plenty of time to play with these, of course, over these next few months, probably even before I get anywhere close to getting through half of them. And tonight, I decided to start by sending you guys some of the answer cards, because why have answer cards that I'm not going to use if I don't send them to share with you guys? I'm going to, of course, you guys know, I'm going to draw a black card, and you guys have white cards that you can fill into wherever you feel like you need to fill into. Even though Luis says he doesn't consent to some of his cards, unfortunately, the cards are unforgiving, and that's not how it works.
It's about being recorded saying the things that are on the cards part.
I mean, but it's a game.
Even if it's parody.
It's for fun. It's for fun. It's for the laughs, for the lulls, for the ha 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 ha.
If we were subverting the system in the process, but we're not. We're just destroying ourselves.
Our first card for this evening is what's big, sweaty, and fantastic? Do I need to go first? I'll go first.
Are we still reading them out loud like usual?
Chinese President Winnie the Pooh.
Okay. Two dudes jumping their balls together.
Bleeding through a jumbo tampon.
Okay, I kind of want to give that one to Luis.
Fair enough.
Let's see. First look, Nike drops hot new sneakers designed exclusively for RuPaul.
Losing custody of the kids.
Could you repeat that?
My card said RuPaul.
No, but what was the main question?
Nike drops hot new sneakers designed exclusively for
a big mouth Billy Bass that just screams.
I did take the pictures of those cards, so I did see them. And if it makes you feel any better, the ones that I sent to Tristan aren't much better.
I know that was a Casey one, but did Bandit get that one or did Luis?
I'm totally going to give that one to you because that made me spit. So, welcome to the jungle. We've got blank. The 10 largest men from my village. I don't have a village yet. We need a village, guys.
This feels literal.
Having 1,000 best friends, but they're all pigeons.
Welcome to the jungle. We've got a bit of a tarantula problem.
What do you say, guys? You want one more?
I'll go for
Sure.
it.
Let's destroy whatever's left of us.
Oh, well, you guys are in luck. It's a 2 blank card. So you get to choose 2 cards to answer the questions. I'm blank, you're blank, let's party. 1, 2.
All right. Repeat that again.
I'm blank, you're blank, let's party. And I've drawn myself 2 white cards as well. And this is absolutely terrible, but I'm going to read it. So if you guys aren't ready, I'll go. So
Yeah.
I'm a skinny, submissive husband. You're a legacy of slavery. Let's party.
I literally have nothing that would make sense for it. Literally 0 cents
Yeah,
for it. I have nothing.
This absolutely makes no sense, but I'm going for it.
All right.
I'm quitting. You're how sad it is that Tom Hanks died of COVID.
Don't you remember he was the first actor to play the role of getting a COVID infection? Oh my god. Could you write a better script where you start with Tom Hanks? Could you write a better script? The original, the OG, the real thing became the Tom Hanks was the. I'm like, really? Could you have chosen a more powerful actor as your first run, and then they probably used George Clooney for something? Like they used all of them, like little puppets, little puppets.
Hey,
Many very
Jimmy,
well paid puppets.
What you got?
Can we get a bonus round?
You want a
do
bonus
one more.
round? Let's do one
Yeah.
more. All right. Since
Oh, I
Luis
didn't even
weaseled his
have
way
cards.
out of it,
No, I literally didn't have the cards. Like his didn't make sense either.
this is
No,
great.
it did not, but I ran with it anyway.
Are you ready?
Yep.
A new adventure awaits at Walt Disney's magical kingdom of.
Oh, I got
Hentai.
you. I got you.
Hentai.
9/11, but with monkeys.
Oh,
Disney's
Living-
great at this new productions.
Living La Vida Loca.
that would be a great pick too.
That'd be a great pick too.
That Disney ride?
Yeah.
9/11, but with monkeys?
Hentai,
9/11.
but with monkeys.
Hentai,
Oh,
but
God.
with monkeys.
And then we get a hentai, but with monkeys. Of course.
So, I mean, dude, I appreciate. I think it's fun. I think it's wild. I don't think I've seen it done anywhere else like this online, except for the dude that totally plays with his cat on TikTok that Bandit introduced me to, and I can't get enough of it because it's a cat that plays Cards Against Humanity, and what's not to love? Like,
Haven't you seen the other guy that decides if he's going to hurt, like something bad is going to happen to him based on the cat's choices?
have you seen the people that try to live their life by rolling the dice?
I've seen some people that allow people to tell them what they're going to do next. That's like the worst level of NPC.
Oh,
It's like full blown. They control your life. They can tell you,
like,
like, go shopping here. Go here.
those are the ones you should work out for.
The dystopian nightmare fuel is
That's right.
real.
So with that, of course, I'm want to hop over to Neptune first tonight, man. Neptune, you got anything for me this evening? Any last words, final thoughts? Anything good you want to get ready to sign your evening out with?
Nah, I'm good, man. Got some stuff for next week. We'll talk about that offline.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. Let's get that set up and get folks ready to listen to all that good stuff that we're gonna. I know you're about to throw down about that doomsday clock. I know you've been dying to do this, so like I'm down for it too. I love some doomsday clock stuff too. Maybe we could even get Steven in here that
Wait,
night.
are you talking about the one that Jeff Bezos is building in like Utah or something?
No.
Or New Mexico?
Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists.
Oh,
Yes,
you're
yes.
talking about that thing? Oh, please. And you care about that thing? You think that thing has any valid nature to it? It 2024? No.
I do. Thank you. But yes.
I don't think it's that valid. Well, I simply know it's more of a distraction.
I mean, I know it's all a giant, dick
They're
swinging
not going
contest.
to freaking launch those things. The only
You don't think
way a nuke is going to go off is a small rogue group of retards actually tries it.
and one and you, I mean, I don't know.
No
What happens if
state's
one
going to
goes
be
off?
one half broken Riri, Jimmy.
Oh no.
Well, it's going to likely be a tactical, so at least it won't be excessive in damage.
It's gonna.
But it'll blow up like 10
I'm
city
telling you,
blocks at
we
least.
need to keep
said
our
right.
eyes open on Kim Jong. He might send one
look,
to Japan and make Hiroshima 2.0. Like
I have followed the.
That's
I have
suicide.
followed.
Instantaneous suicide.
Yes, it absolutely is. But I have followed the implications of nuclear warfare.
and if one launches, everybody launches.
Yeah, I followed the concept for many years. I know what I'm doing. I have a very long thought.
I'm not saying
and I'm
that
looking
it's
forward
invalid,
to it.
but I'm just saying I don't believe in the show.
I actually
Like,
hope
I don't believe in the show. I know the show's been over for a long time. This is literally theater of the mind. What you are witnessing is theater of the fucking mind. You don't think the United States couldn't crush everybody if they wanted to? According to all the data, they literally could crush everybody if they wanted to.
According to whose data?
This is a show.
According to whose data?
We could all crush
what
everybody, and it would all come crashing down very quickly. But
what's the point? That's the thing. What's the point of the theater would end?
It has no value.
Yeah.
It serves no purpose other than to destroy every ecosystem and supply chain that exists on planet Earth.
And that's just like when the email that I got from Robert F. Kennedy's team about the complete underground city that's built for the elites that is ready for such a thing. And if the best way to reset.
So he put that in a campaign email?
Fuck yes.
That is an interesting thing to say, disclose to the
public. In a campaign
email.
email.
But this is my question. Was that place known?
Apparently it's known now. It's in Virginia, and
no,
all Virginia.
Was it no? But it wasn't. Yeah, of course we knew there was a base in Virginia.
Though,
but my question
is, that's all Virginia is
the
a
bunker
is a giant secret bunker.
But is this the new bunker or the old bunker?
This was when he was a kid.
That's the old bunker.
Still,
yeah, we've known about that bunker forever.
Still, that means they probably got even more now. Like these folks can go away.
The Denver airport is likely the other bunker.
These folks can go away and do scorched earth if they so choose.
But you have the bunker in Denver. That's what I mean. Like that's obviously a bunker. They said that went billions over budget.
It ain't Zuck building one too.
Yeah. Can we
say
Bezos,
Mark Zuckerberg, Peter Thiel?
This is good. This is good stuff. Can we save this for next week? Because this is good stuff.
All the people. Okay, we have to find every single. Okay, there's one mission then. We have to find every single billionaire that we know, even in the past, that has built. Because guess what? Everybody has built these bunkers before. This is not new.
I know it's not.
Many rich people in the past. Actually, more people in the past built bunkers. What the hell? Shelters everywhere are.
I can give you guys one that's near to me, at least near to where I grew up too. But yeah, this is can we save this for next week?
Yes, I would love to put a pin in this and save it. Like that's
yeah.
fine.
Let's make this a major talking point for next week's episode.
We can make it every single base, outline every single one of the known ones, and all the cities. Also, all the fallout shelters in the country, dude. Think about it.
I mean, I understand.
Everybody had shelters before, so it makes sense. Rich people have them.
I do understand all that, and with that, there. As we kicked off in the earlier part of the show, and we're speaking on earlier about other powers that be, they all know things that we don't, and if the entire world's economy is going to go belly up. They don't care about you and I, and they are prepared to commit scorched earth. So I think this would be a good conversation for next week. I think that's something everybody can look forward to. I think we'll tackle this at a bunch of different angles. Hopefully, Bandit will have his butt together so we can come on here and get good with that, because I think
He
he'll
should
have some
have
good
fiber
perspective on
internet,
here.
right?
I don't know what he's doing, man. I love the man to death, but he's flustering me, because the only reason we are live on Wednesday nights is because that's the night that he was like, yes, that'll work perfect, and I can barely get him to come here. And I'm like, what's up, dude? Like, come on. So, but it's all good. So, Luis, you got anything for me this evening?
It's all gonna get even more outrageous. I mean, Carrie
Yes.
Lake revealing that tape showcasing actual bribery of that scale.
That's
Oh,
a
if
shit
I
show.
fail and I fail bad and they figured it out, like I'm dead. Like he literally says my car's gonna blow up. I'm like, you should take a politician seriously when they say they're gonna kill me with a car blowing up. I don't know. Wouldn't you listen to the politician then for a moment? It's like, oh, he might be telling the truth if he's saying something that outrageous.
He may be telling the truth, or
Nobody
The
says
Industrial
that. It's a joke.
Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
it's one or the other. I'm leaning towards the disaster kind of field on it. But so, of course, everybody that's over there on Rumble, everybody on there out there on Twitter, even back over there on Facebook, if you can find us at UA the podcast, Odyssey, and YouTube. Thank you for tuning in this evening. Everybody that gets the download of the listen, thank you up over there too. We're up to like 12,000 audio downloads. Like, holy crap. Like, I think that's awesome that 12,000 times somebody's wanted to put me in their iPhone or Android or whatever it is. So I appreciate that stuff amazingly and can't thank you enough. Make sure you hop on over there at unconstitutionalawakening.com to check out all kinds of good other links to find more nonsense from us, past episodes, all kinds of good nonsense. Make sure you can also find some good stuff over there, as well as our friends in Liberty. That stuff was running across the screen earlier this evening, as well as some sweet UA merch. You can get you some stuff with the flag on it, or our goofy animated mugs. And there's even a stand with the orcas shirt that is on there too, that we designed goofing around when the orcas were destroying the whale
Oh,
stuff.
that's
So
right.
it's
The
still up there.
orcas. No, that one, dude. That one is funny.
So
That one needs to
man,
be a shirt.
go hit it is. You can get it on a shirt, a cup. You can get it on a sticker. You can get it on a couple things. I made
I'm
sure I
getting
hooked
it
it up.
right now.
So go check all that stuff out. Get yourself something cool, man. Like everybody that's out there, you can get some cool UA stuff. But I just got one question for everybody before we leave up out of here. And you folks can leave your answers at the end of this episode. I asked it in the group chat, but I don't know if you two caught it or not. So I figured I could ask it again this evening. And I gotta wonder. So are all the children that are born from OnlyFans content the children of the porn? Good night, everyone.